Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach. Yeah, we're here. Okay. This festival has incredible imagery. The imagery of this festival is truly spectacular. From baby Moses in the basket on the River Nile, to the burning bush, to the 10 plagues, to receiving the 10 commandments on Mount Sinai. The Passover story is filled with these most iconic scenes of our stories. And one of the most memorable moments, perhaps, from the story of the Exodus is the episode of the parting of the Sea of Reeds. And Moses, you can see it, right? It's ingrained in your mind. Moses raises his staff and the sea parts. The Israelites cross over on a dry seabed. And the Egyptians, when they pursue the Israelites, are swallowed up by the sea as it returns to its normal state. And the Israelites then sing and dance in joy, giving thanks to God and praising God's might. And so when we think of this scene, we typically picture this as an exuberant celebration, our people rejoicing in their newfound freedom. And much of that rejoicing is good-natured praise and thanksgiving to God. And the joyful text of the Michamocha prayer comes directly from the Song of the Sea, the song that the Israelites sang as they crossed the parted waters. The Israelites are understandably grateful to have been rescued, yet again, by the miraculous hand of God. But there seems to be a boundary that is crossed during this revelry. It goes beyond simply celebrating their redemption. And much of this song details again and again and again how God utterly destroys the Egyptians, how God drowned man and horse alike in the sea. And more than simply the joy of victory, there is a rejoicing in annihilation of the enemy. In a way, taking delight in a vanquished foe is somewhat of an expected response. In the book of Proverbs, we read, "When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy." It is a human reaction. Perhaps not the most eloquent of human behaviors, but it is certainly a human reaction. And it is especially understandable in the case of the Israelites, who have experienced such hardship under the dominion of the Egyptians for over 430 years, and have only just now, in this moment, have they escaped. However, even though elation in the face of a defeated enemy appears here and elsewhere in the Bible, our tradition does not seem to endorse this kind of response. The Talmud directly states, God does not rejoice in the downfall of the wicked. So this seems contrary to the text of the Song of the Sea and to the proverb text as well. And the Talmud explains, with an addition to the scene of parting the Sea of Reeds, that after God causes the Sea of Reeds to close back up and drowning all of the Egyptian pursuers, the angels, together with the Israelites, start rejoicing, and they sing praises to God, just as the Israelites are doing. God, however, gets angry. God admonishes the angels, saying, "My creations, the Egyptians, are drowning, and you want to sing before me." And even though the Israelites are the heroes of this story and the Egyptians are the villains, the Egyptians are still human beings. Their lives have equal worth in the eyes of God. God aids the Israelites, but God also remembers those who suffered in the Jewish people's moment of triumph. Although the human response may be to rejoice in an opponent's downfall, God's response is to sympathize with the pain and the loss of the defeated. Although we are only human, we are encouraged to respond less like the ancient Israelites and more like God. And that is very easy to say and exceptionally hard to practice. Perhaps there is a reason why God rebukes the angels, but does not rebuke the Israelites. God and the administering angels have never been enslaved. God and the angels have not been in a place of powerlessness for the last 400 years. They have never truly had to fight to overcome this sort of adversity, as humans do. And that is the defining feature of humanity, finding the emotional distance from our own hardship, part of the struggle of behaving ethically. That we should rejoice when we triumph, but there is no reason to rub salt into the wounds of the defeated. Vindictiveness feeds the darker parts of our soul. It is not the destruction of our enemy that we rejoice in, rather, it is the freedom of our people and the power of our God. And when we resolve conflicts in our own lives, great or small, may we strive to be generous in victory and gracious to those who have been defeated. May we hold fast to our morals and to our ethics and resist the temptation to revel in a rival's loss, even if we cannot sympathize or empathize with our opponents. May we have the strength and the fortitude to treat them with dignity, with hope that others will show us that same dignity as well. Chag Sameach.